Hi guys, so today we'll be solving this problem called count sub-islands. Let's read it. You are given two m cross n binary matrices, grid 1 and grid 2, containing only zeros, representing water and one representing land. An island is a group of ones connected four directionally, horizontal or vertical. Any cells outside of the grid are considered water cells. An island in grade 2 is considered a sub-island if there is an island in grade 1 that contain all the cells that make up this island in grade 2. Return the number of islands in grade 2 that are considered sub-island. Okay, so we've been given two matrices. One is grade 1 and other is grade 2. Now we need to identify how many number of islands are possible in grid 2, and these islands that are there in grid 2 must also be there in grid 1. So for example, in this grid 2 we have this as an island, and we need to check if that island is there in grid 1 or not. It is there, so we can consider this as an island. So then we go four directionally from here to check if there's an island. So if we go down, we have 0, so 0 is not an island. Then we go right, we have 1. Now we check here 1. 1 is there. So therefore this would be considered. Then 1 here would be considered. Then 1 here would be considered, here and here. So all of this would be considered as one island because it is there in this array, in this matrices, which is grade 1. Okay. Now we similarly check for other. When we come to here, we check that this place is having 0, therefore we can't consider this as an island. And if we go here, we see that this place is 0, therefore we can't consider this as well. And then 1, this is also 0, we can't consider this. Then we come here. Okay, we have 1 here, so we can consider this. And then we come here, we have 1 and we have 1 here, so both of these can be considered. So total number of islands that we have here are 3, which is 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so for every island that we are checking, we need to check if this island is there in grade 1 or not. If it is not there, we won't consider that island. Otherwise we would consider that island. Okay, so that's what we need to do. Let's get to the code part and it will be more clear to you. It's similar to what we did in number of islands. So let's code it. Okay, so first of all, what we'll be doing is that we'll be maintaining a count variable for storing the number of islands that we encounter, and we'll be iterating through the second grid, which is grid 2 here. Okay, grid 0 dot size j plus plus. Now first of all, what we'll be checking is that if grid 2 is having an element which is equal to 1. Okay, if it is an island, what we do is that we put a dfs on grid 2, and we also pass grid 1 to check if it is there in grid 1 or not. We pass I and j, and now we also pass one more variable which is flag, or maybe you call it answer. And this answer would be telling us if we need to consider this island or not. Okay, so it will be checking in grid 1 and it will be telling us if we need to consider this as an island or not. If we need to consider, then answer would be equal to 1, otherwise answer would be equal to 0. So that's what we'll be doing. So after this, we'll be simply adding the answer and we'll be returning count of number of islands here. Okay, now let's get to the dfs part, which is the main recursion call which we'll be doing. So dfs, first of all, we have vector to grid 2. Okay, then vector int, and I'll be calling this as visited because if you see that grid 1 is acting just like visited array. So we are just checking if grid 1 has been visited previously or not. Okay, so I'll be calling it visited, and int I, int j, and as well as I'll be passing answer by reference because we need to change the value of answer if we don't have an island in grid 1. Okay, so first of all, we check the base condition if I is less than 0, which is if I is negative, if j is negative, or I is greater than grid 2 dot size minus 1, or j is greater than grid 2 of 0 dot size minus 1, or if we have 0. Okay, at that time we just return because we don't need to, these are the base conditions. Okay, and then we check if visited, if current element, current piece of island is visited or not. If it is not visited, then we make answer equal to 0. Okay, otherwise we make grid 2 of I j is equal to 0, which is marking that particular current piece of island as visited. Okay, and then we'll be simply doing dfs, which is visiting I plus 1, which is going to the right, and dfs grid 2 I minus 1j, which is going to the left, and similarly we'll be going down and up. Okay, so this is for going down, this is for going up, this is for going right, this is for going left. Okay, so I plus 1 is basically representing the rows, so therefore I plus 1 would be going down. If we do that, I minus 1 would be going up in the row, and then j plus 1 would be going to the right, which is representing the column, and j minus 1 will be going left, which is representing the column. So that's what we need to do here. Let's run the code to see if everything is working fine. Yeah, that is accepted. So I hope you guys understood the problem. It was same as number of islands, and do like the video and share the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.